Hello everyone. You are watching HackerTV, the official podcast channel of ACE Hack 5.0. And ACE Hack लौटा है इस बार अपने फिफ्थ एडिशन के साथ, bringing together innovation, execution, and real-world problem solving on one platform. So dates are officially announced and registration start हो गई है. So stay tuned for more updates. I am your host, Jayati Shri, and today we are bringing you insights straight from the mentors who shape innovation behind the scenes. Mentors are not just judges or guides, they're industry builders, problem solvers, and visionaries. And today we are diving into their journeys, perspectives, and advice for the next generation of hackers. Today's guest is Yash Gorasiya, a cybersecurity project manager who's breaking the myth that cybersecurity about is not only about hardcore tech. He is deeply involved in non-technical cyber roles, AI security, governance, and holds a master in cybersecurity management from Royal Holloway University of London. He, he is worked on real-world security projects for global organizations, led teams across vulnerability management, pretesting, and compliance, and knows how to connect security with actual business impact. Outside work, he is the mind behind the Hacker Harbor podcast, a TEDx speaker, an active contributor to the Besides communication across multiple cities, as someone who is openly advocates for mental health in cybersecurity. His goal is simple: make security people first, practical, and accessible for the next generation. Let's welcome him to the show. Hi, Yash. Hope you are doing great.
Yeah, thank you so much, Team Ace 5.0, for having me today on the podcast.
Hi. So let's start about your journey. How's been your journey till now, and how have you managed to be here from like आप कैसे यहाँ तक आए हो? Tell us about
So,
yourself.
a bit about myself. I'm currently in London. I completed my master's in cybersecurity, project management, and I have worked with a consulting firm before coming here for 3 years. And I've been, as you mentioned about, my involvement into community side of things. But uh, I started back in pre-COVID era where there was not much of those technical things coming
Mm-hmm.
up. But yeah, technology was evolving slowly, but with COVID coming in, it had rapidly evolved. And throughout my bachelor's, I I was a bit curious person in the room, and was always wondering, what I want to do. First year, I it totally went enjoying the college life,
Mm-hmm.
fresh into university. You meet people, you enjoy those, late night parties and everything. I did, you know, you name it, and I was enjoying my college life. But then once the first year was over, it hit me that I'm here to do something. I'm here for a purpose, to complete my bachelor's with a goal. And then I started exploring cybersecurity. Very much less resources again available during those times. So we went on an internet, and Udemy was a very new platform considering what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my three classmates enrolled for a network security course, and we were anyway fascinated by how cybersecurity was, because we already enrolled in cybersecurity degree for bachelor's. So then we thought, let's start somewhere. So we enrolled for a network security course by David Bumble. Uh, by the time, he was very famous security guy in the community. So enrolled for his course, and before half the course, I realized I do not want to get into those technicalities where I need to code hard code things and work towards everything. So I said, then started questioning, what should I do next? What are the other options available? Because everyone around me, or everyone who was even if I had to ask for mentorships, everyone was mostly involved in the technical fields like pen testing
Hmm.
or offensive side of things. Now, in that particular area, it was only internet, and again, no AI was there. Like it's accessible now. So we go on internet, we see 10 different resources available out there, and then we get confused. What should we particularly rely on? What are the sources of it? So I just, and then lockdown was there, so I was, we had ample amount of time with us, apart from the university, everything was online. So you sit in front of laptop 8-10 hours full day, and I was like, anyway my degree will be continuing. I was not much uh, by the time I realized I don't want to do coding, I was anyway up for, I don't want to just be the topper person in the
Hmm.
class. Rather, I would want to gain a practical knowledge. So I started enrolling in random courses. Again, not suggested to anyone starting today, but that's what I did. I enrolled
Hmm.
in 10 random courses and learned 10 different things from them, and then realized what I want to do. So then, throughout those things, I somewhere started writing blogs on Medium, and that was the opportunity which got me my first job, because
Oh.
I was just expressing myself out there on the internet about what I'm learning. Nothing fancy, nothing kind of today what it is, article kind of things, but
Hmm.
just my perspective on what I'm learning. Then I remember getting a call from one of my mentors from the community, and that's how I got my first job. But then the journey has been excellent. I have been focusing more on the non-technical side then, because one thing was clear: I don't want to get into those technical heavy coding side. So and then somewhere between that time, I decided that let's go and explore with a master's, and yep, I think that's my journey.
Nice, nice. Even okay, that ये काफी मुझे भी suggestion अच्छा मिला है. It's not like about. I'm also now not sure about, but yeah, to show up on like आप बताया आप articles पे show up हो रहे थे. मैंने भी start किया अभी recently थोड़ा LinkedIn पे ज़्यादा active रहना.
So I think जो आप बोल रहे हो ना, it's the problem of every first year, second year student in the universities, that they see lot happening around them. उनके आसपास बहुत चीजें हो रही है, लोगों को देख रहे हैं, भाई
Hmm.
मेरे क्लासमेट्स है जो हैकाथन्स में जाके पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, दे आर विनिंग, दे आर आउट परफॉर्मिंग एवरीवेयर, बट देन यू रियलाइज व्हाट एम आई डूइंग.
Hmm.
तो उसके बाद ना, either you go extremely well on that particular aspect, or दूसरा चीज you can do is you can sit back, think about आपको क्या करना है,
Hmm.
and then things will eventually start falling in place. But not, I won't say कि भाई 2 महीने में everything will start showing up. You
Hmm.
need to be
Right.
very patient about कि भाई, even if I was writing a blog, I was nowhere looking at कि blog लिख के मुझे job मिलेगी. There was nothing like that. I was just trying to be कि भाई कल उठ के अगर मेरे को किसी ने पूछ लिया कि यू डोंट होल्ड अ सर्टिफिकेशन, और यू डोंट, आई डोंट सी एनी रेलेवेंट टेक्निकल
Hmm.
काइंड ऑफ प्रूफ्स इन योर रेज्यूमे,
Yes,
व्हाट
yes.
हैव यू डन, तो मैं उनको बोल सकता हूँ कि भाई रीड द ब्लॉग, ये आप देखो, एंड देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि मुझे क्या पता है, क्योंकि बाय दोज ब्लॉग्स आई वाज एक्सप्रेसिंग माई सेल्फ.
Hmm. Got it. सो आप बता रहे थे कि आपने सेकंड ईयर में मेनली ज़्यादा फोकस होना शुरू किया था साइबर सिक्योरिटी को लेके. सो योर लाइक बीटेक major degree was about cybersecurity or it was like just CSC? And how
So
did you realize, like, sorry. So,
yeah,
yeah,
so major degree was computer science,
okay.
typical. uh, I might get backlash for that, but it's a typical Indian system, education system now. You do BTech, CAC, and then you get tens of specializations. So
Hmm.
cyber was a specialization in that, but मैंने वो देख के लिया था कि भाई साइबर का ही डिग्री है. I was nowhere
Okay.
looking at कि भाई CAC पढ़ूंगा. I would do 10 different things.
So, how did you realize that yeah, cybersecurity was the field just आप interested or जिसमें you want to commit to cybersecurity? How did your interest got into cybersecurity?
So it was, I would say, typical सबका perspective होता है.
Hmm.
And I was talking to my computer science teacher in 12th grade, and he said, there is this good university and there is this good course out there. I see you are good at coding. So I was damn good at coding until second year.
All right.
So he said, "Bhai, ye hai. Just fill the form." I was not, because I was in a residential school. We were not too much exposed to JEE and other kind of competitive exams. We were
Hmm.
focused on totally different aspects of the field. Uh, then by the time I finished my 12th, I was very much clear कि भाई JEE नहीं होना है. IIT NIT तो छोड़ो. I won't even get to any क्या बोलते हैं first class universities JEE के through. So then I had a backup plan कि भाई VIT triple E is their own exam. So I gave that. It went well
Hmm.
compared to JEE. And then I got जो भी मेरे को course particular चाहिए था, I got an admission. So I was very happy. But cyber security somewhere is only because मैंने movies में देखा था भाई, अगर आपको हट के कुछ करना है, so
Hmm.
you need to be out there on laptop, do this, do that. But over the period of the time I have been into the field, this perspective totally has been changed now. Cybersecurity is not about hacking into systems within 3 seconds. It's way harder than movies show.
Hmm.
uh, Cybersecurity is not just about a person sitting in hoodies in an with LEDs and every lighting room out there.
Hmm. And
It's
doing
about
some
people.
stuff.
It's about a lot of different aspects of things.
Nice. And as you said, you are in a non-technical side more related to technical side. So can you share a project where stakeholder communication like mattered more than the technical perfection?
So throughout my role as a project manager, the very role of project manager is to bridge gap between technical and non-technical audience.
Hmm.
So here is an interesting part people often overlook is कि भाई, अगर मैं प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर हूँ, मुझे मैनेजमेंट करना आता है, तो आई वुड गो वेल विथ इट.
Hmm.
बट व्हेन यू आर ट्रांसलेटिंग टेक्निकल टू नॉन टेक्निकल, तो आपको समझ होनी चाहिए टेक्निकलिटीज क्या है. So
Hmm.
even though if you are not coding, even though if you are not hacking into systems, तुम्हें वो प्रोसेस पता होनी चाहिए, तुम्हें वो समझ होनी चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मैंने बोला कोई वल्नरेबिलिटीज है, कोई बग निकल के आया है, एंड
Hmm.
आई गो टू स्टेक होल्डर्स एंड से भाई मैंने ये बग निकाला है, या फिर मेरी टीम ने ये बग निकाला है, तो देयर इज नो मीनिंग ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर इन्फॉर्मेशन. जीरो मीनिंग. स्टेक होल्डर्स इग्नोर कर देंगे. नाउ उसको थोड़ा सा रिफ्रेम करके अगर मैं जाके बोलता हूँ कि ओके, दिस इज व्हाट वी फाउंड, बट
Hmm.
इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिजनेस आपको समझ आया वैसे लैंग्वेज में, विथ एग्जाम्पल, दिस इज द थिंग. तो विथ एग्जाम्पल या फिर विथ प्रैक्टिकल रियलिटिकल एग्जाम्पल मैं कब दे पाऊंगा, जब मुझे समझ आ रही है कि भाई टेक्निकल चीजें क्या होती है. अगर
Hmm.
मुझे पता ही नहीं है कि एसक्यूएल इंजेक्शन क्या होता है, तो मैं स्टेक होल्डर को जाके क्या ही बोलूंगा कि हमने एसक्यूएल इंजेक्शन निकाला है. 10 चीजें मैं इधर उधर का भी बोल दूंगा, इट हैज
नहीं
नो
समझ
मीनिंग
में
टू इट.
आएगा. Right.
And throughout that project management role, the very important thing is you need to put yourself into the shoes of stakeholders. So if I say there is a critical issue in my company or in my application, it is not necessarily a critical business problem. So technically it is very critical. Technically वो मतलब आपका application might be hacked, but from a business perspective that issue might not be a very critical issue. So वो understanding होना is very much important when you are a cybersecurity project manager. And that's why it's a unique combination of things. where आपको बिजनेस की भी समझ है, where आपको साइबर की भी समझ है.
तो इसलिए क्या लाइक हिंदी भी सही ना, सोने पे सुहागा वाला थिंग, लाइक यू हैव बोथ
हाँ,
नॉलेज दैट विल हेल्प इट मोर.
एंड ओवर द टाइम जब आप देखते हो ना पीपल प्रोग्रेसिंग देयर करियर, इट्स नॉट जस्ट टेक्निकल.
हम्म.
When you meet a cybersecurity manager, he or she is not just a technical person. They have understanding of both the things.
Got it.
And over the ladder वो CISOs बनते हैं, मतलब the highest I know is CISO or CIO, Chief Information Officer. So
हम्म.
they are the person who are communicating that particular risk to the board. अभी board को जाके you can't simply say technical things because they are
हाँ,
not technical
टेक्निकल
person.
टर्म्स उन्हें समझ में नहीं आएगी.
And
या.
their particular idea. So another aspects of things which is really interesting, Abhi, and I've recently gone through that particular area of things is
हम्म.
कि let's say मैं cyber में हूँ and you are coming from a financial background. So you are CFO, I am CIO. Now अभी board को जाके मैं बोलूंगा कि मुझे ये बजट चाहिए for cyber security stuff. You because you are CFO, आप जाके बोलोगे कि मुझे फाइनेंस का बजट चाहिए. For
हम्म.
company, both are very important things. How
राइट.
you convey, how you communicate that to the board depends कि आपका communication skills कैसा है. Now
हम्म.
उधर आपका technical skills is not coming to the picture. अभी CFO, if CFO is able to convey कि वह financial is very important and it is far important than security, तो भाई
हम्म.
फाइनेंस को बजट जाएगा क्योंकि बिजनेस चलाना उसको है.
हाँ.
इट इज नॉट जस्ट साइबर सिक्योरिटी जो बिजनेस चलाते हैं.
राइट. सो लाइक कम्युनिकेशन मैटर्स अ लॉट कोई भी सिचुएशन पे. राइट. सो यश, like governance, risk management or compliance, these all things काफी intimidating sound करती है as a beginner. So how would you explain its importance, like in one simple story? How can you explain that importance?
So GRC is three different subdomains together tied into one thing:
Hmm.
governance, risk, and compliance. So if you understand basic uska, so it is three different functions within the organization, which also involves cybersecurity.
Hmm.
Now it is intimidating because there are not much of those resources available. Bahar,
Hmm.
be it internet, be it chat GPT, be it at that point of sort of resources, you even won't find a practical learning platform जहाँ पे you can go and for example if you are participating in an hackathon, I can proudly go and say to the interviewer thing कि भाई मैंने practical learning पे focus करा है. But
Hmm.
when it comes to GRC, because it's a bit communication wala heavy subdomain,
Hmm.
you can't prove it practically. So वहाँ पे क्या होता है ना, most of people thinks it's not a beginner friendly field.
Hmm.
Whereas if you specifically search and if you reach out to right people, they would अभी के टाइम में you would get a good अच्छा खासा guidance where they would say कि भाई ये चीजें करो. It will take time. Again, very important thing. Talk to lot of people who are reaching out to me regarding GRC and non-technical is
Hmm.
non-technical will take time क्योंकि there is not much marketing around it. There is not much visibility. तो अभी
Hmm.
हर तीसरा बंदा you see doing technical things and there is a person of cyber security being मतलब फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस आपके दिमाग में आता है टेक्निकल कोई हैक कर
Yes.
देगा. तो उसको ब्रेक करना एंड देन आपका जगह बनाना इट टेक्स टाइम.
Hmm. Got it.
सो फोकस ऑन कम्युनिकेशन, फोकस ऑन एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट आई वुड से लेसन फ्रॉम वॉट एवर आई हैड डन इज आप थिंक फ्रॉम देयर पर्सपेक्टिव. अगर मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ आई वुड थिंक फ्रॉम अ होस्ट को क्या सुनना है, ऑडियंस को क्या सुनना है. आई वॉन्ट थिंक फ्रॉम कि मुझे क्या आता है.
Got it. Like you have to think from another person perspective.
एंड व्हेन यू स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट आपको बहुत इजी हो जाएगा टू मूव इनटू जीआरसी.
Hmm. Great. So यश, एआई काफी ज्यादा रैपिडली अभी इवॉल्व हो रहा है एंड इट्स एंटरिंग इनटू सिक्योरिटी वर्कफ्लोज आल्सो. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, व्हाट आर द न्यू रिस्क डू यू थिंक जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस अंडर एस्टिमेट कर रहे हैं, लाइक जो बहुत ज्यादा अभी सिक्योरिटी वाले पार्ट पे वर्कफ्लोज पे जा रहा है, बट हाँ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को अंडर एस्टिमेट कर रहा है.
So AI again is a buzzword. It was a buzzword in 2025. It is a buzzword in 2026. It is going to be there for another year or two.
Hmm.
And the sooner we realize कि भाई it is not uh, a rocket science coming in and doing lot of things. It
Hmm.
is just a new technology with a different, totally different kind of infrastructure coming in. So when I say people or organizations avoiding or overseeing risk that are there,
Hmm.
the first one that comes to mind is accountability or trust. So when you talk to people and when you ask those people who are into security or जो are in a senior leadership role,
Hmm.
half of them, or I might be wrong, but to people whom I've talked,
Hmm.
from their lens, AI is not something they want to touch. There are people who don't want to integrate AI in their workflows totally. They want to stay away because somewhere down that line they fear that उसको integrate करके we might have to deal with big security stuff.
Okay.
So, and one of the big risk is accountability, or with agentic AI
Hmm.
specifically, it's the trust issues. So let me explain it with an example. अभी जो recent case हुआ है, everyone knows a web coding platform Replit. ठीक है.
Hmm.
Now Replit पे you just type agent, उसके end से पूरा back end front end application बना के it delivers it to you. What happened was agent deleted back end पूरा का पूरा from an application. Now without an instruction, without any human intervention, उसने
Hmm.
delete कर दिया. Now I realize कि मैंने एक application बना था, back end तो है ही नहीं. By the time I log in, back end तो है ही नहीं. So then Replit team asked कि भाई what was the problem? Did you delete it? Asked agent, did you deleted that particular database?
Hmm.
And for a longer time, it acted as it did not. That's where the problem is. When agents start acting as an individual entity without human intervention. तो वहां पे trust खत्म हो गया. By the time anyone listens to this, उनको ये लगेगा कि भाई अभी I want go and code on Replit.
Hmm.
So that trust is lost. And with trust, that's a big factor in security.
Got it. So AI.
Second,
Yeah.
yeah,
Second.
go.
No, no,
So
नहीं
with
second.
second risk in terms of AI is उनका पूरा infrastructure is totally different. So traditional security risk, अगर if people are well versed with security terms, it is कि भाई आपको एक vulnerability मिली, आपको एक alert आया,
Hmm.
आपने उसको fix कर दिया. That is how a बहुत ही ऊपर ऊपर level से how security works. But in terms of AI, because you are putting data, because it's trained on data,
Hmm.
now the thing is उसमें माइनर सा चेंज, माइनर सा, लेट्स से एआई ने 0.0001 का चेंज कर दिया, तो चेंज आपको अलर्ट में नहीं आएगा कि उसने 0.0001 का चेंज कर दिया.
Change कर दिया.
बट दैट कंपाउंडिंग दैट ओवर टाइम, वो बहुत ही अलग चेंज हो जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक ट्रेडिंग एजेंट बनाया हमने, हु इज जस्ट मतलब काइंड ऑफ हमको दिखा रहा है कि हाउ ट्रेडिंग, व्हाट stocks we should invest in and what stock we should not. Simple.
Hmm.
अभी उसमें 0.001 का चेंज हुआ. हमने नहीं करा, सिस्टम ने नहीं करा, जस्ट एजेंट या फिर जो एआई है उसने 0.001 का चेंज कर दिया. बाय द टाइम यू ऑपरेट इट 6 months डाउन द लाइन, तभी जाके आपको पता लगा कि ये तो बहुत ही बड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया, क्योंकि आपको धीरे धीरे दैट प्रोबेबिलिटी इज गेटिंग आउट ऑफ हैंड.
It's like a
तो
slow
आप
poison.
हाँ, स्लो पोज़ीशन, तो आपको इमीडिएटली नहीं पता चल रहा है। अभी ट्रेडिशनल या फिर मॉडर्न जो भी सिक्योरिटी में है होता है,
हम्म।
वी से अगर इफ देयर इज़ अ बग, इफ देयर इज़ वल्नरेबिलिटी, हमको पता चल जाता है, अलर्ट आता है, पीपल आर कंटिन्यूअसली टेस्टिंग वगैरह, तो वी
हम्म।
गेट टू नो, क्योंकि वो हमें पता है, सिस्टम में है। अभी ये चीज़ फ्लैग ही नहीं हो रही है 6 मंथ्स तक, तो आपको पता ही नहीं लगेगा ना। अब
हाँ।
6 मंथ के बाद अगर आपको पता लग रहा है कि भाई दैट वाज़ द वल्नरेबिलिटी, इवन इट्स नॉट अ वल्नरेबिलिटी, दैट्स अ माइनर मिस्टेक इन द व्हाट्सएवर ट्रेनिंग डेटा। सेम कैन हैपन विथ, मतलब बहुत सारी कंपनीज आर नाउ ऑपरेटिंग विथ व्हाट chatbots or
हम्म।
agents as a customer service
यस,
representatives.
लाइक एआई
अब
एजेंट्स
कुछ,
दे हैव।
हाँ, तो इन दैट केस ऑल्सो अगर इफ यू इमेजिन कि आप कॉल कर रहे हो एंड देन एजेंट थोड़ा सा इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिहेवियर थोड़ा-सा हार्श होते जा रहा है। बाय द टाइम यू रियलाइज़ कि एजेंट हार्श हो गया, इट वुड बी सो मच लेट। और वो आपको पता कब च आपको एजेंट अलर्ट नहीं करेगा, आपको आपकी सिस्टम अलर्ट नहीं करेगी कि भाई ये हार्श होते जा रहा है। आपको कस्टमर से पता चलेगा। So that in terms of reputation, it's
रेप्यूटेशन इट गोज डाउन।
हाँ, so that's it. Third, I think, it's a bit very deep security issues also, but it's shadow AI supply chain problem. So every platform AI is being created, be it generative AI, be it agentic AI, be it, this new AI is coming in. Lots of there. Now, all of those AI are somewhere integrated to an API, to an open sourced endpoint. And even if you secure this AI, which is there in your organization, what is the guarantee that that particular endpoint, which is connected to an open source API or open source endpoint, is also secure? अभी वहां से if your data is getting leaked,
हु
तो
नोस।
it's a big risk.
हम्म।
I might
राइट।
upload क्या क्या बोलते हैं 20 पेज का सीक्रेट डॉक्यूमेंट अबाउट कंपनीज फाइनेंशियल,
हम्म।
एंड कल जाके पता चल रहा है मैंने कॉम्पिटिटर को सेम एक्सेस मिल गया टू दैट डॉक्यूमेंट। दैट इज अ बिग रिस्क।
हम्म। So basically, it's more like you can't trust AI. Like not like overall in it overall, it's very hard to combine both things.
So it's also because I won't say you can't trust AI.
Hmm.
That's a wrong sentence to say, but rather I would say trusting AI would take a lot of time, just like it took for people to migrate their premise infrastructures to cloud.
Hmm.
अभी मैं बैक इन 2010-12 में जाके किसी को बोलता भाई आपके पूरे सिस्टम को आप क्लाउड पे लेके जाओ, दे वुड हैव सेड कि भाई क्या कर रहा है।
Yes, no one will agree.
सिमिलर सिमिलर इज द केस, इट विल इवेंचुअली स्टार्ट मैच्योरिंग, बट बाय द टाइम इट मैच्योर्स वी नीड टू बी वेरी कॉशियस अबाउट कि क्या चीज हम एआई को दे रहे हैं एंड
Hmm.
हम कैसे उसको यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं। डू नॉट ओवर रिले ऑन एआई, डू नॉट एक्ट लाइक, even recently कल का न्यूज़ आई वाज सीइंग अ लॉट ऑफ सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट अराउंड कि भाई देयर इज एन एआई का रेडिट लाइक पूरा का पूरा community being formed, AI agents, AI generative AIs and all,
Hmm.
and they were talking a lot of those. जैसे let's say I go to a generative AI or uh, chat GPT, Gemini, whatsoever, and I'm asking if I give me a fitness का पूरा plan.
Hmm.
Now, because it's an somewhere agentic, it's not all though generative, somewhere there is an essence of agentic in it. So we backend पे जाके it is going to that particular community saying कि भाई humans are asking me कि उनको fit कैसे होना है XYZ, and couple of those communications happened. It also got to an extent where they were like हमको observe करने के लिए we don't need human to join this community. So it's just agent communicating with agent or AI communicating with AI. That is scary.
That is actually feel like I'm listening it from you and it scares me. Well,
Oh,
yeah, it is scary because if they are interacting in that way and we are trusting,
it's
everyone is trusting a lot. Like we are sharing even personal things to AI that, yeah, this is our thing.
So I think I'm not sure what the name is, but I have come across a lot of those posts very
Mm.
recently in the last 1 or 2 days, and it's really scary. Like imagine robot कुछ सोच रहा है, कुछ कर रहा है, and you have no idea about वो क्या हो रहा है.
Hmm, got it. So let's continue with your higher studies. You went to abroad for higher studies. So, like many students, they aspire to pursue the masters in cybersecurity and going abroad. So, what factors they should consider before taking this step, like both academically and professionally? What steps?
So I see lot and lot of people coming abroad because somewhere some of their friends did that,
Hmm.
so that you know, inspiration or aspiration, whatsoever you might want to call.
Hmm.
तो अगर मैं किसी को देख के, if I'm planning to do my masters, be it anywhere in the world, you should stay right there in India. You should not go out. First suggestion. Second, so that's what you should consider also. Check if you are, you know, inspired or aspired from someone कि उसने जाके करा है तो मुझे भी करना है.
Yeah,
If
like
that is a point,
we get influenced a lot from everyone.
and you will see only fancy things out there on social media. No
Hmm.
one would say कि भाई बाहर आके how the masters is tough, or how it is hard for people who are just, you know, coming right after the bachelor's. So second thing, very important, even my mentor said this to me, is if you want to pursue a masters, sit down, write pros and cons, very honest pros and cons with yourself. कि भाई, let's say if I were to do a master right in 2026, I
Hmm.
would have thought ki what is the geopolitical situation right away, because you are in a totally new country out there with
Hmm.
new cultures and everything. If you haven't gone stepped out of your house, or you haven't been into that particular environment, it becomes very hard for you because you are on your own, be
Hmm.
it medical, be it I mean everything. अभी उसके बाद you should ask कि if I go today, so मास्टर्स यहाँ पे जो करते हैं, इट इज वेरी बेसिक लेवल. मतलब लेट्स से आई डिड इन साइबर सिक्योरिटी प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट, तो
Hmm.
80% ऑफ इट वाज प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट, 20% वाज साइबर सिक्योरिटी. तो
Okay.
वहां पे आई वाज वेरी मच श्योर कि मुझे साइबर में नहीं करना, क्योंकि माय बैचलर्स वाज इन साइबर. आई वर्क
Hmm.
इन साइबर फॉर 3 इयर्स. तो मुझे थोड़ा बहुत नॉलेज था टू एन एक्सटेंट, कि मुझे समझ आता था साइबर क्या है. अभी वही चीज मैं यहाँ के सीखूंगा कि साइबर सिक्योरिटी क्या होता है, बेसिक्स क्या होता है, हाउ थिंग्स वर्क. इट
Hmm.
डजंट, you know, justify the value you are the money you are putting in. Third thing, only come when you have experience in the field, properly 4 to 5 years का. मतलब जो मार्केट अभी है, considering that you should at least have 4 to 5 years का experience.
Hmm.
Why am I saying this is, यहाँ पे जो लोग हैं, those who are doing bachelors यहाँ पे,
Hmm.
right in the UK or be it any country.
Hmm.
So first year में we have hackathons. We मतलब the only goal we have in Indian uh, you know, typically BTech system is कि भाई placement में बैठना है, good placement लेना है. That is the
Right.
ultimate goal. यहाँ पे लोगों का goal is not placement लेना. They are, मतलब 12th खत्म करके they are very sure about कि उसको कहाँ जाना है. Once you are sure, even if you are doubtful, so you can take a gap year. इंडिया में टेकिंग अ गैप ईयर इज कंसिडर्ड अ फेलियर, कि भाई इससे ना हो रहा है तो ये गैप ईयर ले रहा है. यहाँ पे it is considered a very good thing. So that cultural difference is there. Secondly, by the time we graduate, bachelors say, we have 0 or nearly 6 to 10 months का internship का experience altogether in terms of corporate. यहाँ पे people start internship, people start apprenticeship from very first year. So समर के 3 महीने they are going into a big corporation, लर्निंग फ्रॉम मतलब ऊपर से लेके नीचे सारे लोग जो कॉर्पोरेट में काम कर रहे हैं. सो बाय द टाइम दे ग्रेजुएट दे हैव इनफ कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस कि अगर वो मेरे साथ बैठे हैं आज,
Hmm.
समवन फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर एनवायरनमेंट सेटिंग विथ मी, दे वुड ऑलवेज हैव एन एडवांटेज क्योंकि उनके पास कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस है. मेरे पास बीट प्रैक्टिकल थियोरेटिकल एक्सपीरियंस है. कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस इज टोटली डिफरेंट थिंग. मतलब I can get on a platform, be it lead code or be it hacker rank or any, and I can code competitive coding. But corporate में you are not doing competitive coding. You are coding in the live environment. अभी वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा mistakes can cause a lot of chaos.
Hmm.
But क्योंकि उन्होंने corporate environment में काम करा, उनको corporate के according projects मिले, they are well versed with that. So when you come with 4 to 5 years of experience, that gives you an advantage थोड़ा सा. क्योंकि फिर you have already have ample amount of corporate experience and
Hmm.
then a master's degree. So that combination is अच्छा combination.
Got it.
So
Nice.
ask yourself and very honest opinion कि अगर आप किसी को देख के आ रहे हो या फिर अगर आपको खाली मास्टर्स करने के लिए करना है, my personal perspective suggestion from whatever I did is भाई मत करो. If you can get 4 to 5 years of experience instead of a master's, do
Hmm.
that. Don't do a master.
Nice. So, like, I hope everyone who is watching this podcast and planning to do masters in abroad or not abroad, like anyone, yeah, abroad who's planning to do masters and abroad, they can focus on like getting experience of 4 to 5 years, right? Like rather than going masters.
एंड आई एम डैम श्योर कि 4-5 साल बाद दे विल रियलाइज कि अब भाई मास्टर्स ही क्यों करना है मुझे, क्योंकि दैट कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस इज इनवैल्यूएबल.
Hmm. Got it. So, Yash, you often talks about like mental health also. So, what do you think how this topic is still neglected in corporate culture or uh, in industry where mental health is often neglected? What do you think about that?
So I've been advocating for mental health specifically like in the industry for past 2.5 years,
Hmm.
and it has been there, like people have been ignoring this particular topic because they do not want to speak about their personal uh, lows. As I said, social media is again a imposter syndrome. Once imposter syndrome start kicking in, आपको
Hmm.
पता भी नहीं चलेगा. You are uh, you know uh, in anxiety, in stress, क्योंकि somewhere that impact peer pressure जो होता है, imposter syndrome, it's the biggest thing I realized. मतलब be it my colleagues, be it my uh, be it the students I'm mentoring or be it the people who I'm seeing कि क्या कर
Hmm.
रहे हैं. Now cybersecurity is very intensive field, तो 24/7 कुछ ना कुछ होते रहता है. And if you don't focus on mental health, तो चीजें
Hmm.
does impact on your results also.
Hmm.
अभी if I am into a field where I need to be very sharp about communicating things, तो वहां पे अगर मुझे फॉग मतलब दिमाग में थोड़ा सा डाउट्स है, कंफ्यूजन है, फॉग आ रहा है कि भाई चीजें क्लियर नहीं दिख रही है, तो आई वोंट बी एबल टू कम्युनिकेट टू माई बेस्ट. एंड व्हेन आई वोंट बी एबल टू डू दैट,
Hmm.
that does impact both professional and
Personal,
once it start impacting your professional life, it start impacting your personal lives.
personal life also.
So it is a topic that people have started talking a lot about, especially in UK. We even had a mental health specific event last year also,
Hmm.
and I'm volunteering with an organization called Cyber House Party,
Hmm.
and we are planning to do that again. So, you know, when people from top start talking about mental health, it is totally a different angle to take from. Because once my CEO or once my MD starts talking about कि भाई mental health पे भी focus करो. If you are on leave, you we mean you are on leave. We don't want you to touch your laptop.
Hmm.
If you are with your family, we value that you are with your family.
Hmm.
That
Got it.
boundary is very much important. And again, you know, there has been events. So cybersecurity again एक intensive है. दूसरा, when people are impacted by those breaches या फिर जो आप न्यूज में सुनते हो ना कि XYZ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इतना बिलियन का डेटा ब्रीच हो गया, इतना
हाँ.
हैक हो गया, एक्स पर्टिकुलर कंपनी हैक हो गई. तो नाउ दैट डज इम्पैक्ट एवरीवन इन दैट साइबर टीम, बी इट टॉप टू बॉटम, कुछ भी.
Hmm.
अभी उस एनवायरनमेंट में इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट यू फोकस ऑन कि भाई आप कामली रेस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हो, आप बहुत ही लाइटली नहीं ले रहे हो, बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ आप बहुत ही कॉशियसली उसको चीजें को ले रहे हो.
Hmm.
नहीं कि भाई मैं उससे पर्सनली लेने लगूँ कि भाई ये हैक हो गया, लेट्स से मेरी मिस्टेक की वजह से कुछ चीजें हो गई, तो आई वोंट स्टार्ट टेकिंग इट पर्सनली.
Yeah, got
So
it.
that comes with time, and that I feel mental health focus will also start kicking in eventually. It has been kicking in a lot around this region, but
Hmm.
it would come to Indian region also. On the other side, when we talk about mental health, we or I specifically nowhere advise people to stop hustling, stop doing what they are so much passionate about. Nowhere, no, we are not saying you stop doing what you like,
Hmm.
but we are saying draw the boundary wherein if you are with your family or if you are in your you know enjoying time, you should not think a lot about कि मुझे क्या करना है. I know a
Hmm.
friend, couple of them who are very passionate about what they do. They are startup founders. Now for them to focus कि भाई मैं 10 घंटे काम नहीं करूंगा, मैं बस 8 घंटे काम करूंगा एंड देन बाकी का फैमिली, दैट डज नॉट मेक सेंस. तो वहां पे व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज आप यू आर टेकिंग रेगुलर ब्रेक्स, यू आर फोकसिंग थोड़ा सा अपना फिजिकल हेल्थ पे भी,
Hmm.
बट यू आर नॉट giving up on hustle or giving up on what's required from the job role.
Got it. So, Yash, let's wrap the things up now. My last and final question to you, like to everyone, to someone who is listening to you and feels lost or overwhelmed in their career or their journey. So, what's one message or advice you would like to convey to them from your story or from your point of view?
uh, so this is from the book Do Epic Shit, which Ankur Warikoo wrote,
Okay.
and it has a saying that says, look around you.
Hmm.
Everyone in their 20s are lost, confused, are figuring out, and are doing a lot of things. So by the time you feel I am not getting what I required or what
Hmm.
I want, just take a break, slow down, and focus on what's there in your hand. It's
Okay.
not just cyber advice, but it's specifically for people who says, again, imposter syndrome has been, that's a core topic of my focus.
Hmm.
So people who think कि भाई ये अच्छा कर रहा, वो अच्छा कर, let them do. They are not you. You yourself is you. उन्होंने कहाँ
Hmm.
से शुरू करा? We never know anyone.
Right.
So focus what's in your hand and just जो भी है, put it out there on the internet. Right
Yeah.
now, if you think your story does not matter, it does. I also was thinking a lot कि भाई मैं internet पे क्या ही बोलूंगा. I'm not from the community of people hacking into stuffs, uh, you know, going
Hmm.
that typical cybersecurity path. But then once I started posting, उसका results आने लगता है.
Hmm.
So put your story out there, put it for the people to get inspired from. You also get to learn a lot from that.
Okay, great.
So that's the thing I would say.
Great. So, thank you, Yash, for this amazing podcast, for this amazing episode. And you're like your perspective about cybersecurity, especially mental health, and how to overcome the peer pressure, and how can we see everything, how when to take breaks, especially like it's not every time you have to be in there. Great. And you said like how can we have the clarity about what we want to do. It was very insightful and very great talking to you. It was very meaningful podcast.
Thank you so much again, the hackathon team and everyone who is listening to this for having me. I hope I could inspire even a 1% of people who are listening, and the purpose is served. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So to everyone listening this was Hacker TV powered by ASAC 5.0. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more mentor insights, tech conversations and hackathon stories. Until next time, keep learning, keep building and keep hacking smart. This is your host Jayati Shri signing off.